Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar today with Scott Pulcini, a futures trader. He will be trading live. It is in demo paper trading mode. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. We do it every Thursday at 10 a.m. and we get to peek over the shoulder of a professional and watch how he trades, what he's looking at, how he manages his trades, and deeper insight to his strategies and how he trades. So let's go through some information here. You guys know who Scott is. He's got a pretty incredible back story here. We also have his contact information. I'll be putting this into the chat if you want to reach out to him. He does offer mentorship services. And hold on, one more here. That's not it. There he is. Okay, so got to go through the disclosures before we turn it over to Scott. Okay, so general disclosure. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. So know what you're getting involved in with here. This is for education only. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so Scott, are you there? And if you are you sharing your screen so I can turn it over to you?
Contracts.
Do you hear me?
There you are.
So nice to iceberg sells yes 153 contracts.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. This stuff is a little crazy right now, so.
Oh, can you share? There it is.
Yes.
Got it.
100 contracts.
Okay, so let me pop that out. And
Any idea how to get this thing off my screen? It's like right in the middle of my. No idea how to get this off. It's just like,
Try turning it on or off and on up above.
I did. It's not even this product. It's.
Do you have another window open
not.
somewhere?
Yeah, I got about 15 windows open.
Oh, got you. Okay.
But it's not. The only thing I was really looking at was NASDAQ here, and it's not that. So I don't know why this is. It's really annoying though. Oh, well, I'll have to deal with it.
I'll look into it here.
Pardon me?
I'll look into it further here.
Okay.
All right.
NQ iceberg by NQ 150 contracts.
All right, there's just this stuff flying off everywhere here. Markets are at an area that I think they may be able to bounce, even though I'm not bullish these markets longer term. But this relentless selling has gone on for half hour straight. You can see this thing. This thing has been going off literally for half hour. So we're approaching an area, this 4200 in ES, which is equivalent to 4196. It's a little further down. So you have sell ice right here. I missed a short right before the webinar. I was going to get short way up here, and you can see my order there, and I pulled it because this one of the products, this edge product that we've talked about in the past, was oversold, and I wanted to wait for a pullback, and that's not working out so well. Could add a nice 100-point trade right here. All right, so again, this is just relentless selling. We moved off of these areas. We talked about this yesterday in my trade room. Like, you got to really pay attention to areas that have caused directional conviction in the past. That's this zone here, directional conviction, directional conviction. And they're even better when you have straight beeline moves into them because all the energy is used up getting to that zone, and when it ges there, dies again.
NQ stop sell NQ.
Goodness gracious, man.
465 contracts.
Wow. That's a lot. That might be it for now, though, I would think. Let's see. I just haven't seen markets like this for a while, where it, like both up and down, is just relentless for, you know, an hour. You'll just see
NQ iceberg sell NQ 155 contracts.
you'll just see incessant selling, incessant buying, and then it'll stop, and it'll just turn around and rip the other way. So let's see what this looks like. I mean, seriously, this is going to give back the entire day that yesterday. This has done this basically every time we've had huge rallies. Like, this is what I was telling. Again, I keep referring to my room because I'm just so used to talking to them. But, you know, this market is in a bearish state. So nothing really changed. Even yesterday, there's nothing inherently changing in this market. So every rally, these ridiculous rallies, just get smushed, right? And this is another one. So this is a zone, if this keeps going, which it looks like it's going to, this is an area where you want to pay attention to. There will be a very good buy, at least short term. This was where directional conviction started. We came back. This is obviously at the Fed, after the Fed. Tested that same area, put in a huge buying tail, which is instant rejection. So anywhere in here, this market could stop and bounce. But if this keeps just getting smushed, this is a good area where it may provide a temporary bounce. Remember, we're day traders. I mean, overall, I think these markets are going to zero. I'm half joking, but I think they're going to get killed overall. But we're day traders, right? So I'm looking. I'll take longs. All right. So this is the rare unicorn Step Brothers, my sixth, my newest setup, where you get sell stops. You heard that, 459 and 217 sell ice on top of that. So let's color that purple, or whatever color this is for the unicorn. I think that's purple or pink. And we're incorporating both the stop runs and the sell ice in here. This is really, really annoying here, by the way, Bruce, just so you know. All right. So one of the reasons I did not get long or get short up there, and now I'm regretting it, but obviously hindsight's 2020. So this thing has been oversold this entire time, right? It hasn't been drastically. So this is the edge I look at. It's basically 5-minute mini market profiles. It takes all 500 stocks in the S&P. This is not available for public purchase right now. You can see it on my trade room though. And when this is showing you that, you can see 326 stocks out of the 500 are below their 5-minute TAS boxes, and eventually this thing's going to snap back. So that's why I was hesitant to take the short. But when you've got bigger money coming in, obviously after the Fed, and what I was explaining yesterday was, you know, many times the big money waits till the following day after the Fed. So yeah, the Fed comes out, it does this nonsense, it's whipsaw nonsense, and then the next day, that's when the big money plays. And you can see the big money is playing. Even though, you know, this relative volume isn't very drastic yet. I thought it would be insane. You can't see it because of the tooltip. But, yeah, there you go. So it's decent. Right, so this is telling you this exact time of day for the last 30 days for this exact time period. You know, we're above 100%, but we haven't gotten, you know, yellow is over 200%. We haven't got crazy yet. We got that kind of move, so it's a little scary to think when the big money starts to come in here. But anyway, one of the main things I look at are the Ludwig levels. As you guys know, we call them lugs, so I have to say Ludwig level 85 times. And we are actually through this one. We want to see if these are incredible support resistance areas, so we drew new ones. So a couple of things here confluence wise. So we drew new ones. We're at the yellow log. So any setup I get now, I'm taking conservatively, meaning
Silver stop sell SI 109 contracts.
I need to see an ATR retest.
Stop sell GC 357 contracts.
Trading gold right now. Things been killing me since the war started. Anyway, so we're back in this market profile composite. It's multiple days merged, which is a very important area. You can see we sliced right through the top of it. Right. And now we're basically right around the point of control. So this is an area that this could bounce with, especially with their volume setup. That's the whole idea, right? Anyone could look at this and know, that knows market profile and know this important area, even if you have lugs, like, okay, we built new lugs, this may hold. The key is the real-time volume and what it's telling you, right? I know I'm a broken record with this stuff, guys, but this is the most important factor of any trading if you want to have the edge. So depending on how this reacts, that's going to be my trade, right? So if we get an ATR above here, retest fail, I'll go long. ATR below here, retest fail, I'll go short. As long as that edge isn't ridiculously oversold, because you know damn well if I put it on now, if it's oversold, the thing's going to pop 200 points. So I'm actually hoping this is a long setup just for a temporary bounce. So right now the ATR is 32.75. So that means so we need to see 32.25 points out of here for me to make a decision, right? And then a retest fail, and then I'll go long. 32 points, retest fail, I'll go short. This is the key, right? The rare stepbrother setup. That's what my room named it. I left it up to them, which is pretty funny, I think. But anyway, so you have the sell ice here, and then you have the sell stops here. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. This was the first sell ice here. That's this zone. So if we do rip out of here, I'm going to really be watching this zone. This was 400 or 500 sell ice up here. That's this black zone. So right now, this is Step Brothers. What I'm talking about. This is the 217 sell ice or 224, and then 500 stops.
S&P stocks LES 639 contracts.
This is just relentless, man. All right, we're getting closer. We're actually at that 4,200 level, so this is a place that we can bounce as well. Or we're going to zero right now, one of the two. Draw these in. This is a double whammy, close. So you got 594 sell stops.
Stocks LSI 258 contracts.
All right, I'm going to probably buy this aggressively out of here because I think we're still at the lug.
102 contracts.
Again, guys, bear with me. Everything's firing off right now. And then when you have your 1982 Atari tool, drawing tool, you got to draw these zones, and it takes a while, and I miss stuff. So, all right, so let's see where we are in the lugs here. All right, we're well through the blue lug. Let's see if we have new lugs. We have new lugs here as well.
Iceberg sell and Q 159 contracts.
So I'm going to have to wait for a retest failure of this zone as well because we have new lugs. If we were at the blue lug, I would have bought this setup, this most recent setup I just drew aggressively. Now I have to wait for retest failure. But you can see we're at an important level here too. Sliced right through this composite, or pretty close. Now we're at, this is an area where I think we can finally bounce. We know the spot gamma levels here, the options level. You have the bottom of this prior one, which is confluent with the point of control, and also the top of this one. And anywhere in this area, we could get a temporary bounce. And then just probably looking for shorts after that, right? I just think this is a little overdone so far, but we'll see. So what I tell my room every day is market can never go too far. Meaning, wow, I gotta buy this. This can't go any further. This can't go any further, right? If you were talking about that in natural gas, at what point do you say that they can't go any further? Right? This is a daily, by the way. Guys right here are like, oh, this can't go any further. This can't go further. No, up here, right? Markets can do whatever they want. Don't ever think they can't keep going. So the point is, this could keep going down, right? So the odds are we get a bounce, but don't ever just buy blindly because you think something should happen. Is the key. All right, let's see what's going on in here. All right, so we're holding this stepbrother zone. Again, both these zones now that I'm trading in the equities, NQ and ES, I have to wait for retest failure because we've built new lugs. If they were at the blue lug, I would have gotten in both of these long aggressively, but we busted right through them. So we'll see what happens here. Gonna be an interesting day, I can tell you that. All right, let's check out. There's some stuff firing off in soybeans. So I get asked this all the time in mentoring sessions and everything else. What market should I be watching? You 100% want to be watching soybeans. I used to say gold and oil. Not right now. I would highly recommend avoiding trading those the best you can because the war stuff, the headlines, they're just killer. My P&L in those markets have just gotten smushed over since the war started. So I would avoid those for now. But soybeans and wheat and natural gas. I know natural gas is headline related too, but
Gold stock by GC, 155 contracts.
I'm not even going to look at that right now. We got enough going on. That clown market. But that's the most algo-ridden market, and we'll look at that in a little bit once this stuff slows down, if it does. But algo-ridden markets, they respond the best to the big money. Big money is their worst enemy, right? Algos like to whipsaw traders all day long. When the big money comes in, it disrupts their algo, right? So that you get setups in that market. I'm talking 200-300 ticks straight all the time. All right, so this is let's see what this was.
Did it fix
This
it,
is 100.
Scott?
Yes. No. Yeah, it's gone. I don't know
Okay.
what happened there.
So
I
I
didn't
mean,
do
I'm
anything.
I'm talking to the developers here. They don't know what it is. It's kind of a new thing, and the build you're using might be suspect. So anyway, seems to be gone
I'm on
now.
the
So
brand. I'm on the brand new one.
yeah,
7.31 bill 174.
yeah, yeah. No, I got that.
But it's gone. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, so we're watching this soybeans as well. Soybeans ATR is 2.88. You can see it right there. 5-minute ATR. So we have definitely gotten an ATR below here. Right. So if we retest fail, I'll go short. I will. This is that's my conservative entry, and I know we're above the yellow lug, so I'm being conservative with my entries. Above the yellow lug, below I'm aggressive. Let's see here, beans. See, we're above the yellow lug here, right? This is interesting too, as far as bigger picture stuff. We tried to get inside there, failed. Now we got inside this prior one. Now we'll see if we can get inside here. Then the tendency is to get to the other side. So we got our setup. If we can, we'll short that setup, a retest fail, and hopefully we get inside this. And I'll be watching this as my targets. Bottom of this one here, and then ultimately, hopefully, the blue lug. That would be a very, very nice trade. So again, I say this all the time. I wait for, if we're above the yellow lug, I wait for full ATR, retest failure, get in at 90% of an ATR. There is a chance this does not retest that zone, obviously, right? But the majority of the time, it will retest it, and I don't chase markets. If we were below the yellow lug, then I would get in immediately at 90% of an ATR. So we're not below it, so we'll wait on that. See what's going on here. Do we get an ATR? I'm hoping I don't miss a trade here. ATR in here is 8.94, so there you go. Maybe missing this. It's 90% of an ATR. I'm going to get in just above this spot gamma level here. All right, so let's plug this in real quick. 8.94. That's 8.04, so 8.25 points. So we definitely got an ATR above here, right? Here's your retest. This is the pattern all day, every day. And now 8.25 points is 90% of an ATR. That's where I will enter this trade. So that puts me in actually 0375. So that's where I should have been in. I wouldn't have even been filled there, but I put it just a tad above this spot gamma level. Second. Bunch of different accounts I have to in my auto trader, so I gotta send all this stuff through. All right, so that's that order. We're still sitting in this Step Brothers zone in here.
I think we lost your audio. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. Scott, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Okay. Okay, Scott. Yeah, we lost you on audio there. Hmm. Yeah, hold on a minute, everybody. I'm going to be texting Scott. Hopefully he gets this. Scott, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I get you. Can
I don't know what's going on. I just refreshed my Discord. I have no idea what's going on here.
hmm.
You got my screen? Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, let's try it again. There we go.
You got my
Okay,
screen?
now I got it. Yep. We're back.
I'm not sure what happened there. I forgot what I was saying now.
It was very important.
Oh, so anyway, of course, everything I say is very important. So I had this as a 3 lot. I just changed it to 2 because I'm risking too much here. So again, ATR is I'm risking 90. I'm getting in at 90% of a 5-minute ATR, which is 8.25 points above here, right? And I'm risking 8.25 points below here. So that's 16.5 points alone there between this, and then you add in the size of this stop run zone. That's another 7 points, 7.5 points. That's like 24 points of risk, right? So then you take this risk calculator and you plug in your account value and everything else. And again, you want to be risking 1.5 to 2% of your account value. I'm not going to go on those rants today, hopefully. But you can see here, if I'm risking 24 points, the most I can put on is a 2 lot. And this is the most important part of trading, guys. If you're not following this, you're trading too big for your account and you're going to blow out eventually. And when you have a drawdown, so for instance, the other day, I had my first max.
NQ stop sell NQ 161 contracts.
My first drop dead drawdown in like 3 or 4 years, where I had to literally stop trading. I did my PM webinar and I basically gave myself one more trade, but it happened. It will happen, is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't care how great of a trader you are or think you are. You're gonna have a day that you go on tilt. I even call it.
Stop sell ES 594 contracts.
I'll go into that rant in a little bit. I don't feel like talking about losers while I'm trading, by the way. All right, so this is another stop run here. Never got filled, luckily.
Now iceberg sell YM 100 contracts.
All right, so this is going to get tricky if I want to trade this newest setup, which is a lot less volume. I'm getting confused here. Hold on a second. All right, so this stop run, you can see the sweeps here, right? And that was threshold 581. My threshold for stops is 500, meaning I only trade stop runs of 500 or higher. Those are most important, meaning market moving events. So now I got to make a decision whether I'm going to trade this in the middle of this zone, potentially where my entry would be. But technically, what I'm going to need to see anyway, because this is a new setup, right? This is canceled, that buy, because we have a new setup. Now I still again have to see, because we're below the yellow lug, I need to see retest failure of that zone to go long. I could go short aggressively, which I will, as long as you see that's just still pretty oversold, but it hasn't really mattered today so far. So in normal circumstances, if the edge isn't ridiculously oversold, this newest setup I will take aggressively because we're below the yellow lug. I'll take 90% of an ATR. Not natural gas number in 5 minutes, by the way. So I have to make a decision whether I'm going to trade this to the short side aggressively. I really, really don't want to do that because the edge is oversold. We've had a pretty big sell-off, and remember we talked about right at the beginning of the webinar, this buying tail, actually I think it was NASDAQ, but same thing, right? This is an area where this could bounce. Which I need to draw this zone, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm not going to go short aggressively there, just because there's a lot of stuff right here where this could bounce. So we got that. And I got that. It's a pretty wide zone, I understand. It could bounce anywhere in here. Good enough. This is what started this directional conviction. We came down, put in a buying tail. That both of those alone, even one of these is where you can draw a zone. You have two in the same area. This is an area, I mean, we could still go a little further, but this is an area where this might bounce. High likelihood of bouncing. So I'm not going to go short aggressively here. So what I will do now is, if this does, so say we do this, right? So say we go full ATR below this white zone, that's the new stop run. If we go the full 9 points, it's 9.5 points now. If we do that, retest fail, I'm going to have to go short because that's conservative entry. But on the long side, I'm looking for the same thing because we're below the yellow look, and I only take aggressive trades to the long side above the yellow look, right? So basically, no matter what for this setup, I'm waiting for ATR retest fail. That makes sense. This zone, do we get an ATR below here is the question. Looks like we did. I'm going to have to short it then if it comes back. Retest fails. ATR is 39 points. See down here, 39.05. Top of the zone was 65.5. We got all the way down to 10, so that's 55 points. So that is an ATR. And you can see, so what I tell people all the time, these are magnets, right? Liquidity is the number one thing you want to look for when you're coming up with your thesis for the day. Hey, where's all the liquidity? Some days it's like, on both up and down. That means it's probably going to be range days. There's another day where you just see layers and layers and layers, and it's going to fill it. So just like I was telling my room yesterday, there was liquidity up in ES at 42.50, 42, 43.50, and I said, if that liquidity is still in there going into the Fed number, they don't pull it, it will go up there and fill it. I said that the day before because it was in there the day before, and it was still in there the next day, all day into the Fed number. Lo and behold, straight up, filled all the liquidity, and then died. So anyway, this is, you always want to use this as magnets, but you got to pay attention. First time down here, you have these algos that pick up the size and they run the market away from them because they're programmed to do that. Because if someone just comes in and drops them like 1,000 lot, the algos run it away, so they're trying to get the 1,000 lot to to get into the trade, right? Obviously, this isn't chasing anything. It's been sitting here forever. So my point is, if you're short right now, you want to watch this closely. If it starts to peel away, I would get out. This will eventually get filled, but this could pop all the way back up here, and you don't want to have to deal with this nonsense. But just be aware, liquidity, first time down, algos will front run it. All right, so again, this was a ATR. So if this goes ATR retest fail, I'll have to go short, even though that it's a little scary right now. So let's see where we're at. Yeah, see, again, we're in this tail. I mean, this is the ultimate zone I think we can bounce, but I'll take a short here. If we do a ATR retest fail, I'll take the short and I'll watch that zone very carefully to be getting out of that trade, potentially. Let's see what we got here. A lot of talking so far, not a lot of trading, but I'm trying to be a little prudent here with these trades. You want to watch here too. These are all areas that this thing can bounce at any time. You got blue lug at 12.901 as well. That's not here. And these markets are just, I've never seen, both ways, every day, it's just relentless, just for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, just straight buying, straight selling. right, so this is also
77 BCF. 77 BCF. That's a bill from the forecast.
that's the natural gas number. So this is interesting as well, right? We talk about this all the time in my room. This is a fail breakdown, right? This is into the Fed. When you get fail breakdowns, what should happen? This thing should just keep motoring. It should not come back. That's telling you something's really wrong, and that's what's going to happen, in my opinion. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today. It could. The way this thing's trading, it could. But this is telling you what should have happened didn't happen, and many times what should have happened if it didn't happen, the best trade is the other way.
By NG, 150 contract.
The best trade is the other way. All right, so let's see where we're at here, and then maybe trade natural gas, because that's a great opportunity. See here. All right, we're still dancing around this second stopper on this white zone, so nothing in the ash yet. No, I gotta cancel this order. Let's see what's going on in natural gas. So again, this is the most algo-ridden market out there. I'm not seeing anything here. Yeah, that's not zone worthy. So we'll keep an eye. Something else comes in there. Still waiting for this, and still waiting for. So, like I said, this is going to get their fill, because they always get their fills right now. But first time down here, it was algo front run for about 50 points. So, but these are, so let's take a look at where the liquidity is. So you can see, this is probably coming down here today. All right? Look above. Looks like a black hole. Below, liquidity, liquidity. Filled, filled. So remember, these are magnets. They're not people new to Bookmap. Look at this. They're like, wow, look at these big bids in here. Look at this liquidity.
S&P
I want to be a buyer.
500 for contracts.
Goodness gracious.
NQ iceberg sell NQ 152 contracts. 152 contracts. NQ stock sell NQ 217 contracts.
I really wish I would have taken that short at the beginning of the day. More huge sell ice. So this is obviously out of the ordinary day, right? That's why I'm like not taking things aggressively. So I should have taken this trade aggressively out of this step brother zone. But you know, this is like a 5% day. Most days, the edge is oversold. We get that kind of move. We come into important areas. It bounces. So that's why I was very hesitant to take this trade. But up here anyway, this Step Brothers was at the yellow lug. So again, I don't feel so bad. The main trade I missed was before I even got on the webinar. And I would have caught like 200 points already, 300 points.
Gold stock sell GC 192 contracts.
Not trading gold. All right, so again, you got sell stops and sell ice. Another Step Brothers setup. Maybe one of these we can trade. Let's see where we're at here. It just drives me crazy when I miss moves like this, especially the downside, because I want this thing to go to zero. I want these buyers to get it handed to them. The overall buyers that have been buying this thing incessantly for 2 years. So when I miss this kind of move, it feels like I'm losing money. So important area. We're not quite at the blue lug, obviously, but we're at the bottom of this. Slice right through this guy. Sliced right through this guy. Is this going to bounce here? Let's see what the edge looks like. This edge has cost me some money today. All right, so let's pull them back too. So I'm not afraid to short now. But all dependent on what we do here. So now I have to make a decision too, right? So we talk about risk reward all the time on your trades. So when I trade, I'm always out at an opposing signal or the blue lug. So I have to decide now, is it worth going short So this here's your stepbrother setup right here. Is it worth going short 90% of an ATR? ATR is up to 37 points. So I'll be getting in pretty much 30 points below here. So I'll be risking probably 80, 90 points to make 50 to the blue lug. Is that worth it? That's what I have to decide. I don't think it is. Let's see what I'm just looking for a place to buy right now because we all know these markets. It's gonna like does this and then it stops and then it just rips 200 points the other way. So that's what I've been waiting for. 34 points would be my 90% because we're below the yellow lug, right? So I should be getting in 34 points below here. So this is right around 85. So that means I'd be in at 50. That gives me 50 points of profit to the blue lug. But I'd have to be risking 34 points on my entry, 34 points on my stop, plus the size of the zone. That's another 20. So that's what? 68, 98 points.
Net gas ice iceberg sell NG 152.
So I'm not going to take the short because if I get in here, I have to risk all the way up to here. That's 98 points to make 50. No go. All right. So I'm just hoping this actually turns into a bullish setup and I can go long. If we continue to sell off, I'm going to really watch this last liquidity level. There's two down here, but that's going to be blue lug. If I get a signal there, I'll take it aggressively.
NQ stock sell NQ 183 contracts.
This is comical, man. Honestly, when I am short, I seriously get tortured for hours with snapbacks. When I'm not short, let's just drop 400 straight points. Let's just do that. The perils of trading. So anyway, like I was saying, while I watch this thing go down another 200 points, about having your risk levels, as far as the size you should be trading, any given day you could blow up and go on tilt. So I was talking on Monday, or it was Tuesday, and like I had lost like 3 or 4 trades in a row in NASDAQ. Couple stops that stop out to the ticks or entries to the tick and then rips the other way. I made a couple mistakes, but I was on tilt. I can feel it. I even told my room, like, I'm not seeing things clearly. I am starting to get on tilt. And then I continued to trade and I got killed, and it was my first.
NQ ice iceberg by NQ 152 contracts.
I don't see that in here. It was my first drop dead day where I had to stop trading in like literally 3 or 4 years. But that's what you have to do because, again, when you're not seeing things clearly. So when I was putting my trades in, so you can see even here, so I put these in my room. All right, I'll show you guys quickly while I'm waiting for something to happen here. So I put all these trades in, right? So I'm going through these trades and I'm looking. This is a new feature for my room, by the way, where I'm putting in every one of my trades, where I'm finally keeping track of everything. It's just so daunting to do. I mean, it just takes forever to do, but you got to do it if you want to be a successful trader. So, see, click notes for this train wreck. So, like for instance, on this setup, I entered this setup short in the middle of a huge buy ice zone after. Or actually, I stopped out first in the middle of a buy ice zone instead of putting it below there, and then it came down again, and there was a short setup. That was this one. And then I shorted it in the same zone and lost both trades. And my point is, once I looked at it afterwards, I'm like, what was I thinking there, right? So that's my point. When you go on tilt, you are not thinking clearly, and it will happen to you. I'm telling you, it will happen to you. Take it from me. And you'll look the next day, and you'll be like, was somebody else trading my account? Like, I don't know what this is. So the point is, you have to control your risk on your individual trades, and you've got to contact your broker and have them stop you at a certain amount because you may think you'll be able to do it, and most people can, and you can literally blow up your account. All right. So I'm just still waiting for this setup. Let's see what happened. Remember, I'm not shorting that though because we're too close to the blue lug. That's how much I respect the lugs. I know the blue lug. There's a very, very good chance that's the end of this move for now, anyway. So this was barely threshold. I'll draw it.
S&P stock sell ES 509 contracts.
I cannot stand when I miss days like this. I miss moves like this. All right, so this is another 700. So I'm just going to draw this one. This is the most recent. Got that. Remember to incorporate all your prices in the move. All right, so you got another good 30 points here. So I could trade this. I will trade this to the short side. So if you, this is probably going to be the end of the move if I enter this, but I will do it. This is my rules. This is your stop run. We're below the yellow lug. I will get in 90% of an ATR below here. That's my aggressive entry. ATR is 9.49. .54 is 90%, so I round up. So eight and three-quarter points below here. I will short this. I think I can only put on 2. We'll check that. So let's see. That's 73 quarter. 65 quarter. 64.50 is where I can short this. So I'm willing to short this, right? Because we have quite a ways to the blue lug. I wasn't willing to do it in ES. I mean, sorry, on Q. That's too many. So I already know. So 8 1/4, 8 8.5 is 17 plus the size of the zone's another 3. Actually, I think I could put on 3 now. No, 2.
S&P Iceberg by ES, 704 contracts. S&P stocks sell ES, 504 contracts.
All right, now you got a double whammy. I'm going to cancel that and draw this new zone and trade off of this. These markets never cease to amaze me, honestly. All right, so you got, this is a double whammy, right? Buy,
Iceberg sell engine.
sell stops into waiting ends of bias. And this is the first bias we've seen for a long time. So this could be it for now. Let me get this out of here since it's, I'll keep that for now. Let's draw this zone. All right, so I'll do the same thing with this one. So if this breaks, I will short it. Hopefully nothing new comes in where I have to draw another zone. ATR is still 9.94. 8.94, so 9 points out of here, I can short this thing. Bottom of the zones is 67.58. I seriously feel like I'm getting kicked in the stomach missing this move. Like I can't. I live for these moves. I live for the just incessant selling.
460 contracts.
Rude's getting hammered. Actually, what am I doing? I can't take this short either. Sorry, guys. So the same thing applies to this short too.
Iceberg sell HP, 151 contracts.
So if I get in at 58, here's the blue lug at 47.5. I'm risking 25 points to make 10. I'm not going to take it. Basically, what I'm going to do here, it looks like, is just watch this thing sell off to the blue lug, and then I'm going to go long down there. That's what it looks like I'm going to do. Let's look at crude. Why not? That was actually a huge stop run, so let's see what's going on down here. See here, 565, that's a ton. Threshold's 150 for this market.
Iceberg sell HG, 150 contract.
I mean, everything is firing off here. Soybeans, copper, natural gas, crude.
Iceberg sell HG, 150 contract.
All right, that's that. Hey, the market's bouncing a little bit. What's going on here? So actually what I'll do, I will go long here in ES if we do ATR retest fair. Let me clear out some of these zones because it's getting... Just going to clear this out. So remember, when you're trading these, you want to default to the most recent setup, right? So the most recent setup is this double whammy. 1,000 buy ice, sell stops into the waiting hands, like 1,000 sell stops into the waiting hands of buy ice. This is the first buy ice in a while. So now if this goes ATR, retest fail, I will go long. The shorts out of the question right now because we're so close to the blue load. I missed my chance. I should have just been shorting this aggressively this whole time, but that edge kept me out of it. Again, this is a 5% day. 95% of the day when you see this thing at over minus 75% or where it was this whole time, it's been up here this entire time. The market will bounce, right? So it's like this is just a different day. It doesn't happen very often. But what you also want to notice here on this last double whammy, volumes finally getting, this could be like the end of this move for now. They're finally running into, when you see high volume and a sell-off, there's obviously buyers, responsive buyers as well, right? So this could be the end of this for now. We'll see. Not happy I missed it, but it is what it is. All right, so we need to see 10 points out of here. ATR is 9.87, so 10 points out of here. Top of the zone's at 75. So we need to see 85 and almost got there. Again, because we're below the yellow lug, I need to see full ATR retest failure, and then I will go long at 9 points above here, which is 90% of the full ATR, and then my stop will go 9 points below there. Any questions, Bruce? Like, why won't you put on a trade? Anything like that?
Yeah, let's see here. Alan put a video in, something kind of interesting on trading, stop trading on tilt. Looks like pretty good.
Very important.
No
Most
FOMO.
important.
Yeah, agreed. And then let's jump over here into YouTube. Does basis points factor into finding a trading zone? If so, could it possibly influence a lot sizing if that is part of the process?
I don't understand what that means. What do you mean basis points?
Not really sure what's meant by basis points either. Just reading the question here. So I don't know, Sam, if you had more maybe to add to that.
Net gas iceberg sell NG 151 contracts.
Boy, that's about it. I mean, we're pretty caught up here already. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, well, basically because I haven't done anything. So, all right. So, refresh these logs. See where we're at in crude. So we're below the yellow lug. We've accepted back into this prior profile. So again, I try to avoid trading crude, but this is enough size where I could take this trade. Yeah, there's something.
Iceberg sell ES 761 contracts.
That's good. And honestly, it just looks like we're going to the blue lug, and then that's where I'll buy aggressively. Other than that, I've missed this move. It is what it is. It feels like I'm getting kicked in the stomach, but I missed it. It is what it is, like I said. So we'll watch this liquidity get their fills, and then watch the market rip up on our points like it always does. So let's see what happens here. So the crude trade, see what the ATR is in there. 51.6.
By CL 153 contracts.
And you got your setup. Pretty much right at the bottom of the stop zone as well. So you always want to default to the most recent setup, so now I'm gonna have to. That goes up here. Here, it's still coming in. You can see this buy ice coming in here. I'll still short this. But it's now off this new zone, right? All right, ATR is obviously very elevated in here. If you don't trade this, I would not blame you value for trading crude, not trading crude. 46 points is 90%, so I round up 47 ticks. So most I could put on is a 1 guy. So 46 ticks outside of this zone puts me at, what's the bottom of the zone? So 50 is 61, 65. That's where I'll short that. Again, I'm taking that aggressively. Oh, and look what's below. Where do you guys think we're going today? Let's see. Black hole. Liquidity. 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 That's where we're going. These guys run the show. They will get the market to move into their orders so they can either get out of their shorts or initiate longs. Whatever the reason, you're never going to know. There was a question the other day I saw late and I haven't had a chance to answer, asking about there was icebergs above, sell ice, and now there's bids below. Do you think that, or there's buy ice below? Do you think that's them getting out? I don't know, and it doesn't matter, right? It's the area that matters. You're never going to know what big players are doing, right? This is the best guess you're going to have. I mean, you can see the games in here. Like I say every day, if you can't beat them, join them. You know, all these markets are completely manipulated, right? And so all your complaining all these years about manipulation is 100% correct. But you can see how it's being manipulated. That's the whole point. So you can see liquidity. You know where these guys are going to get filled. You can see the hidden orders, the buy ice, right? So it's like this is coming to an end. I will bet anything this thing bounces now. But we'll probably do one more fill here. You got your buy ice here. You got your liquidity fills here, and then we're going to do that. There's about a 90% chance of that. So again, I missed the shorts. Now I'm just looking for an area to buy this. But back to what I was saying, this is the beauty of having the power of having this information, right? 99% of traders know nothing about this stuff. That's why 95% of traders fail, right? You can see all the games and see what they're trying to do. You don't know what this is. You know this is buy ice. Are they initiating position? Are they getting out of a short? It doesn't matter. Are they hedging options? It doesn't matter, guys. You're wasting your time trying to figure out the whys. Just know the whats. This is here. Big sellers in the hidden buy ice. You know that. You know liquidity. Once they get filled, that's all you need to know. You don't need to know why anything. You're never going to know why unless you're God. If you're God, give me a call. Give me some good trades, please. All right. I feel like I'm on tilt. I haven't put on a trade just because I cannot stand when I miss sell-offs like this. It doesn't happen very often, obviously, like I said. And then you got every market firing off in my ear. I seriously feel like I'm going on tilt right now. So hopefully that doesn't happen during the webinar. Let's see what's going on, that guys. This will calm me. Hey, look, hey, you see anything here, guys? What do you see here? So this is important too, right? Now that we're talking about liquidity and stuff, this stuff does not matter. You know what this stuff is? Is this stuff and this stuff. These are algos. This liquidity is nonsense. This is guys just screwing with the market. Algos screwing the market. This is important. This is sitting in here this entire time. So if something were to happen in the market, were to spike through this, these guys want to get filled.
Iceberg sell NG, 155 contracts.
There you go.
Nat gas iceberg sell NG.
Wow.
154.
All right, guys. This is going to make me happy. This is going to get me out of my tilt. So once again, most algorithm market out there. Look at this screen. If it looks like a Christmas tree, you know it's nothing but algos, right? But the big money are the out. Look at this. This is huge ice for this market. Sell ice. You can expect a monster move out of this area, and that is the whole point. You want to find areas that a volume event to trade off of, and then when it's in line with your thesis for the day, that's when you get an A+ trade. And I just saw below all that liquidity. Now we're seeing sell ice. What do you think is going to happen here? Again, I don't just go short because I saw liquidity. I wait for the volume event. Well, here it is. But do we know what it is yet? No, it hasn't gotten out of here. But I'm suspecting with this kind of size, we're going to do this. And we're going to go right down and fill all that liquidity. And that's not close. That's 300 ticks away, 200 ticks away. So we will watch this closely. Let's check our lugs. It makes me feel good to get away from the equities right now. Hold on. What am I doing, NG?
Nat gas ice iceberg sell NG.
Wow.
152 contracts.
I'm not telling you the direction yet, but I'm telling you there's going to be a big move out of here. Why did we not build new lugs here? All right, that's selling new lug. I'll still sell this thing because this is just huge. So we'll see what happens here. So what I'm going to do here is, because we're so close to the blue lug as well, and so say we break lower, I will wait for ATR retest fail and I'll go short. Technically, because no, we're not at the blue lug. We're below the yellow lug. So either way, I'm going to see ATS retest fail, which you're probably 95% chance you're going to get in this market because of the algos. So you just bide your time and wait. But I'm telling you, you're going to get a mammoth move out of this area. ATR in here is 50 ticks. So meaning I need to see.
Nat gas ice iceberg sell NG.
Still coming in.
154 contracts.
I might have to widen the zone a little bit, but 50 ticks out of here, 50 ticks out of here, retest fail, retest fail. I'm hoping it's this way because you know that liquidity is going to get their fill by the end of the day. There's a little bit above here that's been in there for a while.
Nat gas ice iceberg sell NG. 153 contracts.
Huh, looks like somebody wants to sell nat gas today. I wonder if they'll be right. Again, 546, 123. Another, this is like over almost 1,000 sell ice in this area. That is, the threshold for this market is 150. That's exciting. If you guys aren't excited by that, then not much is going to excite you. I know you may say, I don't trade natural gas. Trade the mini one. It's not a true mini. It's like a quarter of the size. I think it's QG. Let's see. NQG, that's the CQG symbol anyway, or rhythmic symbol. Trade that, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun trade. So we'll come back to that. Let's see what these pigs are doing. I see we're already into farm animals, Bruce, because that's how upset I am that I missed this move. All right, did we get ATR? Did I already miss ATR retest? I sure did. All right, so I should be short this. Oh no, I can't go short this, I'm sorry, because we're at the blue lug. Something doesn't want me shorting today. Let's see. This is upsetting. We're just so close. This is how much I respect the lugs, guys. I mean, normal circumstances, if we're far enough away from this is absolutely a trade. Especially with this liquidity sitting here. Here's your ATR, here's your retest, here's your failure. I might be aggressive. I don't like doing this on webinars because I don't want to change rules, right? But this is pretty inviting to.
180 contracts.
Yeah, there's some sell ice in nat gas. This is pretty inviting here. So let's see. ATR is up to 44. If I lose, then it's a good lesson for you guys not to break rules. So it's good either way. 39.65. So 40 points out of here would be the aggressive short. Let's pretend the blue lug's not in there. They're sitting there. So I should be short at 43 quarter. All right, here we go. Breaking the rules so I can put a damn trade on. So you're welcome if you've been buying this, waiting for a bounce, because here it comes. Because if I break my rules, I usually lose 90% of the time. So 43 quarter. I will short that. Where I'm going to stop out, I'm not even going to mess around with this. If I get filled on that, I'm just putting my stop right above this area. I'm not going to go a full. I'm not going to go 90% of an ATR. Again, I'm totally breaking my rules here. But I can't stomach any more selling without being a part of it, especially with this liquidity right here. So I'm going to take a chance here. So don't try this at home. All right, let's see what's going on in here. Did we get an ATR below this?
Nat gas ice iceberg sell NG. 154 contracts.
Hey, they're selling that gas. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Let's see if we can get 2,000 sell ice in this area. Again, just sit here like a sniper and wait. Because I'm telling you, you are going to get probably a 300-400 tick move out of this area, would be my guess. I think we put one on. We were going to put one on last week, and I had my order resting. I actually got filled, and I made like 200 ticks on it. If you guys took that trade, you have to be very happy with me right now. You're probably happy with me right now because I haven't put a trade on yet.
Net gas iceberg sell NG 151 contract.
You think this is important to know, guys? Like, if you're just staring at this, like most traders are, you have no idea what's going on here. You're like, oh, actually, this is the daily. Let's get it back to the 60-minute. Like, wow. This looks like a great buy here. This is going to keep going up. You have no idea what is happening right here, right now. About 1,500 sell highs so far. You think that's important to know? I think it's important to know. I think it's the thing to know. And you know it. Well, let it keep coming in. See, they keep buying it, and they're running into mouthfuls, another 300. This is the most I've ever seen in this market, collectively. So now I'm starting to get excited again.
Wow, there it is.
Is you still hearing me? Okay. This is going to be fun.
Look at it.
I'm gonna break my rules here, but I can't miss this trade, right? I'm gonna wait for ATR retest to put on full size, but I cannot miss this trade out of here. This is ridiculous. 50.56 is your ATR. 45.5, so 46 ticks out of here. We may already got there. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a monster. So this is at 44. All I gotta do is hover over the damn thing. So 98. I already missed it. I already missed it. Wow. So I'll get short if it pops back up here. If I miss this trade, I'm certain you guys are gonna hear me cry on air. I'm gonna literally start crying. Just please come back and at least fill me on the one guy. So anyway, this is a full ATR already. What was that? 4 seconds? We can ATR retest. I will put on full size, and this is exactly where we're going. All right, filled on that. Thank you so much. On a second here. 50 ticks out of here is... All right, so on this order that I just got filled on, I got to go, what did I say, 46 ticks. That's 90% outside of this zone. So that puts me at 84.13. That's where I will stop that. If this retest fails, I'll put on another one. And guys, the only thing about this is it's probably going to do that. But I'm telling you, it may take a couple hours, and you're going to have to go through this because of all of this, because of the algos in here. So just remember that. You will catch monster moves out of here, but you will go through torture. So if you can't handle whipsaws, this is not the market for you, I can tell you that. All right. That got me excited again. Did I get filled out my NASDAQ? Broken rule. Yep, there you go. Here's your rule break. Get ready for a bounce. All right, so I'm going to stop out right above this zone if it comes back. I already broke my rules, so might as well break them a little more. I'm getting out right there. I'm going to watch this blue lug very, very carefully. 1901. So we could go through that blue lug, and that would fill this and this, and then I bet you we do that. So we'll see. Again, I'm going to let the volume tell me that, but this is a little overdone, and we're coming into important areas. There's really nothing market profile. We just literally blew through 2 composites. That tells you something right there. This one and this one. These are older ones, from like a year and a half ago. That's the last time we were down here. But I will watch for a bounce, and then if I do get long, I'll be watching baby lug, yellow lug, to potentially get out of some. and or opposing signal. All right, here's your retest. Now if this fails out of here, I'm putting on another one. There. So how many markets have we seen already that literally came right back to the area? Because that's just what happens, right? Again, traders that are caught, they hold their breath. It comes back to the area. They're like, thank you, God. Let me get out of this trade. Whoever's long here, all these buyers are like, oh, thank you. I just thought I was going to get killed. I'm going to get out now. And then the next wave, that's what causes that. Right into that. We'll see. The ultimate edge. All right, so you haven't, nothing's happening here in crude. These two zones. There's your liquidity. You know where we're going there as well. I guess I don't think understand. I say it every webinar, and I'll say it to the day I die. What an edge you have here, knowing this stuff. So first of all, if whatever trading platform you have besides Rhythmic,
Gold Iceberg sell GC 150 contracts.
I'm not looking at golden. Whatever platform you're using, you may see bids in here, but it only goes a certain, well, how many levels does it go, Bruce? Like 20 levels up and down for everyone but Rhythmic, meaning they're not really showing you the real orders below here. So you can't even see this liquidity. And so anybody using any other platform besides Rhythmic can't even see this liquidity, let alone Bookmap, where you can see it visually like this. Is that right, Bruce? What is the scene?
Yeah, it's gotten a little. I recently was testing CQG, and it appears that some weird things. It used to be I used to get full depth on crude and gold. Now only crude. Gold is not full depth. The ES was not full depth. It is now.
Sorry.
But the Nasdaq is not.
And 31 contracts.
All right, we're at the blue lug.
NQ stock sell NQ 157 contracts.
Liquidity one. It's really surprising. I'm really surprised this liquidity got filled. Not. Come on, go hit the last one, and then let's see you rip 300 points back up. Come on, you can do it. So what I'm going to do on this one, because I'm going to get out. Remember I told you about the front run? So I'm going to be getting out a little in front of that right there, because I already know we're at the blue lug. That's already a very important support area. Now, in case this does go a little further, I don't want to risk the algo's picking up this size and then ripping it. So I'll be out just in front. This is what the lugs look like. We're right at the blue lug. That edge is still oversold.
Stock sell ES.
Goodness
S&P
gracious, man.
stock sell ES 878 contracts.
I honestly can't remember ever being in a short that literally just did this for this long. Ever. I've been watching it though. It's really fun to watch. So you had 1,000 stops here. Wow. 1,700 stops. So again, this is right at the blue lug too. This could be it for now. Fill your liquidity.
S&P Iceberg buy ES.
Hey, look at that.
701 contracts.
Look who's coming in. Buy ice and liquidity. It's all a big game, guys. If you know what the game is, it makes it so much easier. Let's see if I got filled on that Nasdaq.
Gold stock sell GC
Filled.
308 contracts. 308 contracts.
All right, so right now,
Silver stock sell SI.
goodness gracious.
123 contracts.
So I guess the world is ending. If I get any signal now, if I even hear a signal in Nasdaq, I'm just going to turn around and go long. I won't even, again, I'm already breaking my rules today, might as well do that. But no, I usually do this anyway. If the edge is oversold, we're at a blue lug, this thing has gone down ridiculous, unseen usually. I don't remember last time seeing this kind of move. I mean, I guess it was a few days ago, but anyway, you can see 87% of the S&P stocks are oversold. Like if I hear anything in here or S&P, I'm just popping it along. Let's throw soybeans in there too. There's only 18 markets firing off right now. Blue lug here too. So you got confluence as well. Blue lug, extreme standard deviation from VWAP. And bottom, we're trying to get out of this, and then we're so oversold. If I hear anything, I'm in. Anything more, that is. You see that? There's your front run. Algo's picked it up. That's running away and making chase it, but they don't chase, right? Because they're like, okay, screw you, we'll wait. Because the next time down here, they'll just step on the gas and they'll push it right into their orders. Meaning they'll start selling. This is what's happening because I'm sorry if you've been on all my webinars and you've heard these stories about 100 times, but there's new people on here, and it's just important to stress. All my setups are based on when I was a large trader trading 1,000 lots, right? This is the game I used to play all day long. I'd put my bid here and I'd wait and I'd start to step on the gas, selling, and see how the market reacted. And then it got really close and I would really step on the gas. Guys would jump on my coattails because they see the flurry of orders coming in and it would run right into my 1,000 lot bid and I would be out or long or whatever I was trying to do there, and it would be gone. And I'd make my 50 grand and be done. All right, so I'm fully expecting one more test. These guys, there's no way they're going to let this move up before they get filled. So if I hear anything, I'm going long here. Anything. And I can trade bigger because it's not going to be a ton of risk. I'm just going to risk an ATR from wherever I get in based on the zone, bottom of the zone. So I'm going to do it there. I should be getting long right now. This just right at the bottom here. I'm going to go long here. I don't like this liquidity here, but again, this is very, very aggressive. I usually wait for a move out of here. We've just got so much going for this. Could bounce with this. Let's see what this was. This was 2,000 sell stops, as you can see it right there. And you have another, what was this by guys? That was only 300. So this is basically just a mammoth double whammy, or I'm hoping it's a Dumb and Dumber, right? Dumb Money Puke, capitulation, gone. Let me change the color of the zone. Because there was really no ice here. It was just sell stops. So my stop's going to go. I'm not going to mess around with this because this is very aggressive. I'm just going to put it an ATR below here. Or 90% of an ATR below here. Actually, I'll go outside an ATR. Again, breaking rules, why not? ATR is up to 11.67, so I'm going to put my stop 12 points out of here. Again, this is not my normal trading style. There's, these are markets. You've got to make exceptions sometimes, right? And this is one of them. And I'm willing to take this risk. I'm willing to risk 12 points from the bottom of the zone, which is 45.5. So 33.5. I'll stop out of it. And if I take a loss, take a loss. Again, this is not how I usually trade these, right? But there's where I will get in here because I have such an advantage now where I'm not risking much. I'll add to this 90% of an ATR out of this zone, which that would be my normal entry, right? Because we're at the blue lug and we have a setup. So let's see what happens here. Again, I already broke my rules once. It worked out, but I don't know if Lighty is going to strike twice because, again, when I break my rules, I usually lose. Again, it wasn't huge, but at least I got I literally would have turned off this webinar if I didn't catch part of the sell-off. It was nothing comparatively, but at least I caught some of it. So I'm expecting one more wave down, so they get their fills. If I get any signal, I'm going to go long aggressively this as well. Cancel that. He's just screwing around in that zone up there. Like I said, guys, if you don't like waiting or whipsaws, this is not the market for you. But if you like 300-400 tick moves, this is the market for you. I just hope this sell ice comes back in here. Remember, I broke my rule on this one as well because I was waiting for a retest failure. Here's your retest. It hasn't actually failed yet, right? Remember, I got in that just because I just could not stomach that kind of size and missing that sell-off. So That's fine too. A lot of broken rules today, guys. No, again, don't try that at home. If you're struggling, new to trading, don't understand the zones, I would follow my normal. You can go back and watch the 300 webinars I've done for Bookmap and how I trade these zones. Right. Today is just a different type of day. Again, it's a 5%, probably 2% type of day. Let's see what I missed here. Nothing really. This didn't retest. This was pre-market stuff. Hey, look where we're headed. Do you believe this, guys? It is the same stuff in every market. Volume runs the show. Setups, liquidity. Know the game. Play the game. Be the game. Be the ball. Be the ball, Danny. Movie, Bruce. If you miss this, I'm hanging up.
God, lots of threats today.
Bruce.
Yeah. No, can you hear me? Hello?
Don't sit there and wait to read the things in the chat.
No. I know it's
little
Caddyshack.
tricks.
I know it's Caddyshack.
Bruce, you there?
Yeah. It's Caddyshack.
I guess not.
Yeah, I'm.
Guess he's hiding. Can you guys even hear me? I've been talking to myself for the
Can you
last
guys
half hour.
hear me? Hello?
Right.
In Discord
I have no idea
or
if I'm on right now.
yeah,
Fine, I'll
we
just
we
talk to
can
myself
we can
anyway,
hear you.
so.
Yeah, okay, they can hear us both. Caddyshack.
And this is just unprecedented, honestly. Like, you got to be kidding me. This does this every time. Look at this move. 150 straight, 160 straight points. All the time.
Yeah,
Just do or die here. We get through this tail. All right, I need to find out if you guys can hear me because I don't really talk to myself this much.
yeah. Scott, like something's wrong with your mic,
Bruce,
your speaker or something. Yeah. So let me try.
Check the actual room. So, that's not it. Could you guys hear me? Type something in the chat if you guys can hear me. I can't hear you, Bruce. Are you talking? 'Cause I can't hear
Yeah. Can
anything
you
you're
hear me
saying.
now? Try now. It's all good. It's just that you cannot hear me. I don't know why.
All right, he's texting me now. You guys can't hear him either? I know, but can you hear Bruce is what I'm saying. You can hear both? That's so strange. No, you can't hear Bruce.
Yeah. Yes, they can.
All right. All right, I don't know. Half the guys are saying they can't hear him. Half of them, guys and girls, are saying they can't. I hear both of you, but cannot hear Bruce. Hazard, what are you drinking, Hazard? What does that mean? Hold on, this is. Hello.
Yeah, Scott, they can hear us. You cannot hear me though for some reason.
Half the people are saying they can't hear you.
Long-term buyback and ensuring continued availability of strategic
In Discord, they were saying they could hear me fine. So I don't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
you hear me now? I was talking Cat in the Hat. That was pretty funny, Cat in the Hat. All right, I can't hear you, so. Guess it is what it
I don't
is.
know what it is.
I could try. Let me try refreshing up because this happened a little bit ago. I'll try.
Okay.
All right. Could you guys hear me? Could you say something,
Yeah,
Bruce?
yeah.
Okay, now I hear you. All right. It's something with Discord, obviously.
Okay.
And then when you contact them, then they tell you, oh, there's an outage. That's their excuse every time. Oh, there's an outage. Oh, there's an outage.
Okay.
So that's
Sorry,
the second
sorry,
time today
everybody.
I had to refresh the screen.
Yeah. Something's up.
All right. So anyway, back to if you thought you avoided the movie quote, you did not. What movie is that from?
Yeah, that's
So easy.
Caddyshack. That's
Yeah.
a easy one.
You literally cut off the feed just so you can find out that you probably Googled it. And that's why you cut off.
No,
That's why you cut off
I
the-
remember that one.
All right, so just waiting here. Again, this looks like it's going to make another wave down the way it's not bouncing out of here, so we'll see. Got some breath holding here in natural gas. Again, retested the zone perfectly, not a coincidence. Let's see if that 2000 sell ice can hold the market. This feels like I'm going to get stopped. Again, I'm perfectly fine with this. Was a very aggressive entry. I was willing to take a shot after a 140 point straight move, which happens never. Where's all the buyers at? Where's all the Mimi buyers, or whatever they call them? Where are they all at? %. This thing has cost me so much money today because that's why I didn't short to begin with. Who needs a 400 point move in the NASDAQ? I don't need that. So once again, here we go. Just could you fill these guys so we can go up, please? Come on. So whoever this is should be absolutely ashamed of themselves that they're not just selling some more, selling right here to push it into their orders. That's the game. Step on the gas, make everyone sell right into your orders, and then watch it do that. Did I just read in here? Get ready for the big flush down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've flushed down. Doesn't mean it can't keep going, but this is pretty much a flush. All right. Things are at least settling down. Let's see what went on in these other markets here. Copper was going crazy. I don't trade copper very often, but it's the same stuff, guys. It doesn't matter what futures market you're trading. If you know the thresholds and you know how to, I mean, look at this. This was huge. So this guy, like I said, you can tell the big money's playing today, right? They waited for the Fed to come out yesterday, and then today they're coming in. You never look at this. This is 700 contracts in copper. I think my threshold in my course is 50. This is 700. Looks like risk off is what it looks like around in everything. Gold, gas, crude. That's exactly what today is. I don't understand. They were buying like crazy after the Fed yesterday. What happened? I thought everything was okay in the world. Look at that. That's golden. Every single time. Every time I miss a setup. Let's see what the ATR is in here. This has not been a good week for me mentally. I can tell you that. I've made some huge mistakes. Been on tilt. 10.29. So it probably wasn't that high back then before this move. Probably, let's see. Right around 9. Just seeing if we got an ATR out of here before the retest. Yep, sure did. Of course. See that? Here's your ATR. Here's your retest. Here's your failure. Off of 700. Maybe I should have brought this market up when it was screaming at me. There you go, guys. Same patterns over and over in every market. Doesn't matter. Very upsetting. This is unbelievable that they're not filling this liquidity. What are these guys doing that are sitting here? Step on the gas, you wusses. Looks like something came out in soybeans that I missed. $200. So you got 300 buy ice here in soybeans. Let me guess, I missed a trade. Here's the next wave. Taking on the chin on my aggressive entry in ES, looks like. Oh, the other thing you want to look at too, I already know what it
Sell
says.
YM, 106 contract, 106 contracts.
Now you got YM, which you never see. Thank you. I already know this is trend down. I don't have to look at it. Look at that, 2,400. You see under 2,000, it's trend down. Not that there's some revelation now.
NQ iceberg by NQ, 152
All right,
contracts.
remember I said about the first signal I heard? I was going long. I'm going long. I can find the market. It's not threshold though. Hold on. I'm sure I've stopped out of my ES. No, not yet. Looks like we're going to fill this liquidity too. So guys, this is going to bounce eventually. Who knows when? When it does, you should be looking for places to sell. When the ADD advanced decline is that drastic, you do not. You're going to get a bounce. I'm shocked it hasn't happened yet, but the bounces are going to be short lived. It's going to do that and then that and then that. It's going to happen the rest of the day. Was that threshold? Yeah. I'm just gonna buying it right here. So again, this is very aggressive. I'm not even waiting for the zone to, and it wasn't much anyway. This was not threshold. It was 136. It was close enough. I'll give it a shot, and I'm just gonna risk an ATR below 90% of an ATR below the zone. Again, both of these are very aggressive, but I explained my thinking there. 45.16 is your ATR. 40.64, so 41 points below the bottom of this. Puts me at, what's that, 35, 34. And I could put more size on a little, I make a whopping 2 lot because I'm only, actually I could probably put on more than that. I'll keep it at 2. If it was more size, if this was threshold, I would have put on more. We'll just keep it at this. This feels like it's going to make another wave. This is a weird day. Literally, I would say this is 1% day, type of day. See it 1% of the time. Probably not that low, but at least it's no more than 5, I can tell you that. All right, long bolt. I hate breaking rules on webinars like this because I don't want to teach you guys to be like randomly doing things, right? Like I have a way I trade. I have my rules, right? I have a process and I follow them 99% of the time, but since it's a 1% day, might as well do 1% where I don't follow my rules. It's just, I think it's worth the risk here. Again, I think this is going to happen. It doesn't matter what I think, but
Nat gas iceberg sell NG, 151 contracts.
All right,
151 contracts.
This is trying to push through that zone, but they're still selling it, so we'll see. Look, if I get stopped out here and then the same thing, I'll short this again. If this goes full ATR above here,
Nat gas iceberg sell NG, 150 contracts.
I'm just gonna make this zone bigger. If this goes ATR retest fail, I'll go long because that'll be a broken ice. That's one of my 5-6 setups. Broken ice. Paper's not always right, but I'm telling you what, if they're wrong, you're gonna get a 400 tick move this way. So I'm hoping they're right, obviously, because I'm short. Remember, this was an aggressive short. What was the prudent way to trade this? Like I said, you wanted to wait because we were above the yellow lug. You want to wait for ATR, retest, fail. Well, it hasn't failed yet, right? Because many times you get ATR and then rips. That's why you wait for the failure to confirm the area.
Nat gas iceberg sell NG, Nat gas iceberg sell NG, 150 contracts.
Somebody trying to corner the market? I've never, ever seen anywhere near this type of size in this market, ever. Did I say ever? Another 200, another 300. And it's coming in again. If there's any day you're going to try trading this market, today is the day. No matter what happens here, like I said, if it rips up, wait for retest failure, go long. Rips below, you can go. I'm not going to wait. So again, this is like a new setup coming in, but I'm not going to wait now on the new setup retest failure. I already saw this.
Sell NG, 155 contracts.
There's some sell ice and nat gas, in case you guys are wondering.
Yeah, that's
All
amazing.
right, can we get I mean, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen anything near that.
I mean, one after another.
Major player. I wonder if the people shorting it, I wonder if these are their bids down here. I wonder. Again, you don't know that, right? But it's a pretty good assumption. You're never going to know. That's why don't waste your time trying to know. Like responding to whoever put that in the Bookmap room the other day, asking me, "Do you think they're doing
Net
this?"
gas ice
I don't
ice
care what
for
they're
Excel
doing.
NG, 165 contracts.
I care about the volume areas. This is not behaving right, guys. This is going to make another move lower. I mean, I'll keep the trade on, but we all know that if you trade the ES or NQ at all, I mean, this should have already done this, at least temporarily. I'm not saying like it's going to move up 200 points, but at least a 20-point move. Give me a break, man. I'm putting this at a 1% day, this trading action. I'm putting my name on that. 1% of the time you see this, where this literally just will not bounce at all after a 140-point move. I just get mad at this stuff because it's like when I'm short, I have to, even when I have my winners, I have to endure this stuff. Everybody knows that who trades these markets, right? And it's like the time that I'm not short or I actually get long aggressively, no, let's just sit and then die. Sit and then die. Like I said, guys, I'm not having a good week mentally. It's good for you guys to see, right? It's like I am a professional trader. I've been trading for 24 years or whatever it is. And I still fight with my mental game, right? This is the hardest job. It's the most gratifying job, the best job in the world, next to being a professional golfer, I think. This is the hardest job in the world, mentally. Like, you're not going to get a harder job. Everything you do is against human nature. Everything. That's why it's so hard. That's why almost nobody can make it. So yeah, we have the setups. I know I have an extreme edge in this market, proven, but I still struggle with the mental side because it feels like, you're getting tortured at times. It felt like I was getting tortured on that move down, not participating in it. And now I'm waiting for a bounce that happens 99.99% of the time and it won't bounce. That is where I start to lose it. And I've got to get better at it. Another 25 years, I should be good. So talk to me when I'm 75. I should be good to go. All right. So if we get, I'm going to be getting out of at least one back into the Step Brothers setup, barring it's something new. What just happened there? So liquidity did get filled a little bit, but they just looks like they put more in there, or they didn't get their total fill. But hey, well, what do you know? A bounce so soon? Well, it only took 2 hours. That's not bad. Ridiculous. I just love, like, I always catch myself too. Like, I'm getting mad at the market for not doing what I wanted to do. How ridiculous is that? That's pretty ridiculous. All right, so let's look at some areas where we can be getting out of it. Again, we're finally getting a bounce, but do not think for one moment that this thing's going to rally back 200 points. That ADD, this is a trend down day, so you start watching for areas, even marginal areas that you don't usually trade off of, like here's DVA, right? Daily value area, which is one standard deviation. Algos will kick in and then put it back down. If we happen to get through there, then this is going to be a real good area to be looking for shorts. Yellow lug, VWAP, and that's also going to be right in this area, so it'll be the top of this profile, the bottom, well, it's not quite the bottom, but this is an important area. So if this happens to do that, I don't think it'll make it that far, but if it does, this is going to be a great place to short. If you get the volume signal, that's the key. I almost want to get out of one of these right here because I just have a feeling we're going to do another wave, but I'll keep it on. I'll be a good trader. Stopped out in natural gas. So again, I broke my rule there, but now this is a perfect example. Paper's not right yet. It's got an ATR above there, so I'm going long. I know there's liquidity below here, but if this retest fails out of here, I will go long. This is just, how's the sell ice feeling right now? Pretty good. Actually, let's make this bigger. I broke my rules there, but again, I'm okay with that rule break. I was willing to do that. This actually trails all the way up to here. Yikes. So this was another 300, 600, 800, close to 1,000, just in this.
On Dice Iceberg buys UB, 501 contracts.
This is what I'm going to do, actually. Because then we can trade off the smaller zone and not be risking 80 ticks on a trade just for the zone. Hold on. All right, so this ended here. Let's just change this real quick. That was there. You can see this was one house too, by the way. Look at this. So all of this ice, see this black line? That is one player that sold like 2,000. Whatever this was. It was a lot. Now, came back up here. Remember we moved down. That was the ATR. Here's the retest. It never failed. So I actually should, like I said, I should never have been short, but I was willing to take that risk. Now this is another setup that we can trade off of. Because this is another 1,000 ice. Sell ice. Same player. This is the same player, isn't it? I think it is. I mean, it started coming in here. Again, it doesn't matter who it is. Whoever it is not right. Right now. That's that. Bottom of that zone. Let's make that this. So remember, you want to make sure you get all the prices in the spike, right? That's where you want to use this little crosshair tool. There you go. So that's the new zone. So ATR in here is now 52.4. So 53 ticks. Did it get 53 ticks out of here? Top of the zone is 37. What's that, 90? Yeah, that's an ATR. I really didn't want to buy this, but again, the market's telling you, it's telling these guys to go F themselves, right? For lack of a better word. So if this does ATR retest failure, I'll go long. See, this is why, guys, this is exactly why I wait to see how the market reacts to this zone. So anyone who has Bookmap there could have been like, yeah, I'll sell this, I'm getting short, and you get smushed, right? So that's why the majority of the time, especially if you're just learning this stuff, wait for the ATR, wait for the retest, then wait for the failure. That is a much better success than just hopping in the middle of a zone. Because I hear all the time, right? I mentored a guy yesterday. He's like, well, guy, your risk is so large. Like you're getting in ATR below and then risking an ATR above. Right. Well, then you cut down your size. But I'm not trading. I'm going on a rant again. You guys hear it every week. I'm not trading. The market does not care what I want to lose. The market cares about the volume events. So you don't want to be stopping out in the middle of the volume events. Get it away from there. If that means you have to trade less, then trade less. But if you can trade a 100 lot if you want, if you're only risking 10 ticks, you're going to get stopped out. The market doesn't care what you want to lose. It cares about this. So put your stops. You have to adjust your size and trade based on this. That's my rant on that. Waiting for a retest. Let's make sure we hear it, because if I miss this trade, I'm literally going to cry. So let's alert in there. Notifications, enable. This is what it sounds like. Very pretty. Now we wait. Oh, and next week, guys, I'm going to have a little bit of announcement. So I'm not going to give full details on it, but I did. Hey, look at, oh, I just missed this. Damn it.
You're pregnant?
I'm just going to get out of these right now. I'm going to press my luck. Hold on one second. Hold on. So
Scott,
the reason I got out of there is this was that big Step Brothers, right? and that's what causes directional conviction. So came back there. I missed it because I was chirping about the natural gas, but it's all right. You can see we're struggling here. I'm going to get out of 2 of these. So I will take my money and run on this bounce. Finally, but hey, I didn't chase the short. I missed it. I accepted it. I felt like I was getting kicked in the gut. But, and where do we bounce? Guys, I'm telling you, between real-time value, number one, we talk about all the time. But these things, when you get your setups at these areas, I can't come in my room and like guys are literally like, I want to marry her. These are unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. Again, I don't incorporate things in my trading unless it is ridiculous. And look, both of these. This one a little below. Complete edge. So anyway, I'm making an announcement next week. I did one of those. Someone told me, a very reputable source, I'll tell it all next week, told me about this funding company. And you see them all the time, like I don't want to name names, but where they'll fund you if you pass combine, so on and so forth. And most of them are complete, I don't want to say complete bullshit, because they will fund you, but the rules are so ridiculous that it's a model, obviously, to take traders' money, because like we were saying, 95% of traders fail. So where do you think they're making their money? You think they're making their money on funding traders or on guys paying the fees to do the trading? I'm sure there's a bunch of guys on here right now doing them, and it's fine. It's a great way to have skin in the game where you're not just trading like a simulator where it doesn't matter. But most of them are geared towards taking your cash. So this guy told me about this one, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if I can pass it. I should pass it, being a professional trader and all. And then when I do, I'm gonna, basically let everyone know that this is legit once I get funded and once I get paid. So next week I won't be paid by it, but I've qualified for it. The rules are pretty stringent too. Again, I don't want to get too in detail about it because you'll probably figure out who it is. But just next week I'll tell you all about it. And I think it's a very viable way for you guys to get funded. If anything, you can do I'm going to call it combine. It's not a combine because that's what the other one used to call it. It's a way for you to trade where you feel like, because you have your risk limits, right? It's just like if you're trading in a trading firm, you can only lose so much in a day, which you absolutely want. Don't make me go on that rant again. But everything's structured, and then if you can pass, you make your profit amount, but you trade and it feels real because you're trying to make, get funded, right? So I'll tell you about it next week. I passed it. I'm not getting any more information than that, but tune in next week. It'll be interesting. But so far, they've done exactly what they said they're going to do. No nonsense. So that was very important to me. So let me get out of this little long nose. All right, guys, I'm running out of gas. Not a ton of trades today. I waited. I was patient. I was pissed, but I was patient. I didn't chase this thing. It went a lot further than I thought it would. That edge kind of threw me off. We'll look at it one more time, see if I can get a little upset before I get off here. You can see my order in here. It was right before the webinar, and I had it in there, and I looked at that edge, and I said, wow, it's 85% oversold. I'm not going to sell it. Again, 99% of the time, that thing is spot on. You can ask my room. Again, you can see it in my room. You can use it in my room. When that thing's oversold, you do not want to be initiating positions when it's that overbought or oversold. You can see it right here. Look at this. This is going to make me cry. Right here. So I had my order. Where'd it go? It's right here. Right before the webinar started, I had it. It was based on this setup. So once again, the setups did nothing wrong. They worked exactly like they should have. This was aggressive entry. We were below the yellow lug. I was going to enter 90% of an ATR below there, and I canceled it. And that was at 13,250. And now where do we get down to? Yeah. 13,875. I mean, if you like 375 point moves, that would have been a good trade. But I mean, I'd rather have like 1,000 point move. 375 points I missed on that trade. See, now I'm getting upset again. But anyway, again, this is a weird day. It's an out of the ordinary day, and my point is, I kept my cool. I probably wouldn't have been so cool if I wasn't on the webinar, but I kept my cool, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and we took a couple aggressive longs, and there you go. But like I say every time, guys and girls, there is no bigger edge in trading. If you do not know what is going on in the volume, you are at a disadvantage. Period. You don't have all the information. So I don't care how great of a trader you are, you don't have all the information. All right, any questions, Bruce?
Yeah, Scott, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go. We've got Tom B lined up next.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And yeah, so let's guys, I'm sorry, we've got to move on, and come to the next webinar with Tom B. That's in Discord. We'll get him in YouTube shortly here. We're having some issues actually with YouTube right now as well. Anyway, nonetheless, yeah, I'm sorry about that. We'll have to hold your questions for now and get back to you next time. But
you can email me as well. It's fine. Or you can on Discord just go to my if it's a serious question, it's not something I've answered 100 times. You can send me a chat. That's fine. Or join my room, and this is what I do twice a day, every day. And there's again a lot of capable traders in there as well.
Right. I've put that into YouTube, and then I just put it now into Discord as well. So if you guys want to reach out to Scott, you can directly. So you have his contact information. Yeah. Other than that, Scott, yeah, let's wrap it up. Call it a day. Yeah, we'll catch up with you next Thursday.
Yeah, so what you take from this, guys, is it's not always sunshine and rainbows. This is a very difficult profession. That's why you need to follow your rules, and it's very easy to go on tilt. Again, if someone with what I've gone through in my life that I can still go on tilt.
180 sell CL.
I'm close to this short, by the way.
187
I'll still short this thing. This is a new setup.
Stocks CL.
If I can go on tilt, anyone go on tilt, please protect your account. Please trade within the rules. Again, hopefully you learned a little bit from my kind of off the rails thinking today or talk. But come back next Thursday. I'll tell you guys all about that funding company. It should be interesting. So, all right. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Have a good day. And yeah, we'll catch up with you next Thursday.
177 contracts.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.